Hey, what's going on, guys? Jurassic World Evolution 2 today. We're doing a little bit of sandboxing. But y'all know the routine. Before we begin, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Now then, this game was free as part of June's monthly PlayStation Plus games, and I've gotten quite addicted to it. I've put in quite a lot of hours trying to build like just decent parks. I'm not one of those people, you know, who decides to build a replica of the movie parks simply because A, I'm not that good. B, the movie parks, well, we've kind of seen that they all failed. So I kind of just wanted to build my own. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to show you through some of my better, more successful parks first, and then we're just going to move on to the sandbox save that you currently see just for fun. Now, I have discovered a rather large issue with this game. When you're building a sandbox park, and let me know in the comments below if you're watching this in the future, if you've come across this issue as well. When you build a big sandbox park, so when you're in a big, large open area, dinosaurs will start to freeze. You know, they'll get stuck in the idle animations and they'll just starve and die. And it is a pain in the arse. Because you set up all these enclosures, either with the cohabitation or without the cohabitation, and yet it still doesn't matter. If your park gets too big, the animals will just freeze and boom goes the dynamite. They all die because they just get stuck in that one particular animation and don't move and they die. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to show you some of my more successful parks. Starting with this one. Obviously, you've got to go to Nublar. You know, Nublar's where it all started. I do have one on the 1993 Nublar. Yes, that's a successful park, but it was back when I first started playing the game, so I didn't really understand the whole power distribution, so the place is just littered with generators. There's no power stations, it's just generators, and that was a huge pain in the ass as well. Quite a big park, and there's quite a lot of dinosaurs in here. Can't add anything else to this, it is completely full. And this thing is so full that you just lose where everything is. But to my knowledge, this park is the best park I've built. You know, it's the most successful. All the amenities are doing well. Ticket sales are up there. And I don't know why I enjoy this game so much, because usually I'm not all about the simulator games, you know, Train Sim World, Truck Simulator, things like that. I'm not really usually into stuff like that. I mean, I guess I enjoyed The Sims, and this is kind of like The Sims, but with dinosaurs. You know, you're caring for the dinosaurs instead of The Sims. But, you know, it's kind of is, and it kind of isn't the same. You've got to see where I'm coming from to understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I really copied from the Jurassic World movie was the fact that the innovation center's there and the lagoon is right in front of it. You know, this is like my mock-up version of a main street. I've been very busy on this game. I've done quite a lot in this game. But this is the as I was talking about earlier with if you build like a park that's large in size and it's got a lot of dinosaurs in it, they start to freeze and just die. I think this park, there's a lot of dinosaurs in it, yes, but it's of the bare minimum. So you know they're not getting stuck in those freeze animations and slowly dying. I've done quite a lot on this. I even went so far as to, actually decorate it properly because I've really enjoyed what I did with this park. Still needs a bit of work, there's bits here and there that are flappy and all over the place, but I do like what I did with it. Obviously I'm not going to show you around the entire place. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of like the best areas and some of the star dinosaurs, because otherwise we'll be here for hours. But I must say, when you're playing it on the Jurassic World style map, the decorations aren't actually as good as the decorations you get from the 1993 version. But in this park, I pulled out all the stops. We've got Velociraptors, we've got an Indominus Rex, we have Indoraptor, only one aviary because by the time I was going to build another one, I was out of space. We've got a bunch of herbivore enclosures. I actually have the preferences turned on for this. So all of them are in proper enclosures with the appropriate species. I mean, if I can find it, there it is. See, the way I built this particular gyrosphere around these enclosures, it gives a hell of a lot of dinosaur appeal. And as you can see, I've got nearly 300 million on this park, so it's been very successful. I had planned to live stream Alan Wake Remastered again today, but I've been playing this all day again, and I figured, well, since I'm still playing it, I might as well just live stream it. But credit where credit is due, they really pulled out the stops for this particular game, because even though it's one of those like sandbox, build your own, don't really get involved kind of games, the graphics are actually phenomenal for it. The level of detail that went into the environments, the level of detail that went into the dinosaurs, it was very well done. Okay, we're just going through the herbivore enclosure here. See, I cut the gyro track through the carnivore enclosures and as well as the herbivore enclosure because it just adds that extra bit of appeal. Yeah, we'll be done with that now because it goes on for quite a while. It goes all the way through there. But look at the appeal for that, 6,845. Now, I don't want to brag, but I will say this is how you build a successful park. I mean, maybe don't cram everything in like I've done round here, because then when your accommodation rating or your restroom rating or your shelter rating starts to fall, you've really got nowhere else to put them. You know, I'm okay on shelters and restrooms, but when it comes to accommodation, the rating keeps fluctuating between like 88 and 90%. So I do get in a bit of trouble with that because I've nowhere else to put another hotel. Now, I will admit, when I first started out on this park, I did cheat a little bit. I set everything to unlimited. But I turned all that off once I'd built, you know, everything essential and gotten a few of the research nodes out of the way and just started working on my own, you know, building my own money and making the park profitable. I set the money to low, and when you set it to low, it only gives you about $2-3 million. So I think I did quite well. Yeah, we got a Spinosaurus there. Should recognize that from Jurassic Part 3. Baryonyxes, you might recognize these more from Camp Cretaceous. But yeah, as you can see, that I've got dinosaurs strewn everywhere. You know, I don't even know why I decided to live stream this. I think it was just a bad case of I've been playing it so long now since it first came free on PlayStation
take a look
Plus.
At this next objective. I mean, I'd do it, but I have you.
I just figured, why the hell not? I've done so much on it now. But yeah, in this lagoon, I've got the Mosasaurus. This one, I mixed it up a little. Got 3 different species in there, and the cohabitation limit is just on the bare minimum. But at least on this park, as I stated at the start of this video, the dinosaurs aren't freezing and getting stuck in that sort of free animation, that idle animation, and slowly starving to death and dying. That's what's happening if I try to build a bigger sandbox park in a larger area. The animals are just getting stuck, and they're not moving, they're not expanding the territory, so it means they're not going, and they're just slowly dying. But yeah, that's that park. Didn't change anything, so just gonna leave it. This was one of the first attempts I made at making a park, and I really didn't understand the power distribution when I did it, so it's just littered with generators. There's no power stations or anything, it's just generators. And you can imagine how troublesome that can be. Yeah, already I've just loaded in and it's out of power. But this is another somewhat successful park. I didn't really put any decorations in this one because I didn't really understand how it all worked. I just, built it for the sake of building it. But I think I did a pretty good job of it. Considering it was one of my first tries, it's not that bad. Still got plenty of space in it if I want to add anything else or, add any other dinosaurs to the enclosures. But I think it's one of those where it's a bad case of, yeah, I'm done with this one. I think on this park as well, the animals age out and die. Sometimes I will turn that off, I'm not going to lie, because it does get quite annoying, especially if you're waiting for certain research or certain incubators to go through, and you get a bunch of dinosaurs die. That is quite annoying. It's actually a really addictive game. You can play it for hours and just not realize how long you've actually been playing it. I mean, when I first downloaded it last month because it was free on PlayStation Plus, I figured I'd play it once, maybe twice. But the first day I downloaded it, the first day I was playing it, I was playing it from like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then when I looked at the time, it was near enough midnight. It was like, I haven't even eaten. you know, it's an addictive game. I mean, I'm not going to be live streaming too long. Once again, this is another test stream to see how my Wi-Fi actually holds out and to see if it will actually hold out with a live stream. I promise you guys, I will get back into proper live streaming, proper games eventually. We'll just have to see how my Wi-Fi does, So let me know in the comments down below if you're watching in the future, if it's laggy, if I sound like a chipmunk or a robot. Please let me know. Here's another one. This is the San Diego park. This is part of the main story. In some of these parks, when you first start, it looks like you don't have much to work with. But then, you start going through it and you're like, wow, actually, there's a lot to do. 30 million, it wasn't my best, Profits are just below the upkeep line, so it's not a very good one. But, the appeal's up there, the guests are happy, so I think when I finished it in the story, that was it, I left it. Again, there's no decorations strewn around here because it was one of my first attempts. We got herbivores, velociraptors, carnivores, Potosaurus. You know what? This one's quite annoying. It says it's missing sand. I covered this entire enclosure in sand. Not to mention, the whole area is filled with sand. And it's not enough. So that really quite annoyed me. Must have legitimately just put those T-Rexes in there. Yeah, same with Disucimus. I think most of the dinosaurs for this one were adapted to not need forest, and it did make it a lot easier to regulate the enclosures in San Diego, because that way you could just put water down and put the food down. Yeah, middle here we got compies. Doesn't give much appeal, but there's nothing else you can really have in the middle here. I think really what I tried to do was just mix and match on this one, see what I could and couldn't do, see how far I could go, see what it needed, see what it didn't need. Again, it was another one of my first attempts, so it's not brilliant. But like I said, you know, it is a very addictive game. You know, and all you do is build stuff. You know, you'd think a game where you just build stuff and don't really interact with it will be boring, but it's surprisingly addictive. All right, so we'll move into the park that I'm currently building now, where all the dinosaurs are slowly dying because they've all frozen in that stupid animation, the idle animation, and they're just not moving and not looking for food, so they're slowly starving to death. On this one, I just set everything to off except for the profit, because I just wanted to throw as many dinosaurs into the mix as possible. And evidently, that wasn't a good idea, because here's what happens. They just stand there and slowly die. You know, even though they're surrounded by food and water, they're hungry and they're dying because they're not eating. Because they're just standing there. Like, seriously, why? But we are going to do something fun, do not worry. This was just an area I had planned out for an enclosure. Now I know where it's going to go. I was quite happy with what I did with this one. You know, I really went all out on the flashy decorations for this one. So, what I want here... Yeah, you can see it on screen. You can see what I'm doing here. I want the Indominus. See, normally when I build my enclosures, I build them in like an octagon shape or a kind of rhombus shape or a circular shape. But with this park, I went for a more rectangular shape. And I've learned from experience that the Indominus needs a lot of open space. Otherwise, it tends to snack on the guests. So let's get this enclosure ready. So we'll have a big puddle of water in the middle here. So bring it back this way a little as well. There's no power, but we'll fix that shortly. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot easier just to get some pylons. My dinosaurs are killing each other. Yay. Every time I'm trying to do something, someone always dies. See, that ain't my fault that you starved to death. You got plenty of food in there. But see, this is the problem. They just stick. They just get stuck and die. Guy. Looks like he's swimming, but he's not swimming. He's stuck.
Asset transportation in progress.
Well, at least they're on the move now. These were all dying when I last played it because they were just stuck. They just weren't moving at all. Anyway, back to business. Might as well get it researched. Oh, that's steep. Spread it out strategically. After you give a big clump, you just want to spread it out strategically after that, because well, once you put it in a big clump, they've got enough. So we want feeder in front of the viewing gallery. Another feeder there. Library there. And library there. Maybe give it a bit more water. See, when I was making this park, I tried to be a little bit more intuitive, a little bit neater, a little bit cleaner when it came to building stuff. Basically, I didn't just throw everything in and hope for the best. I even made the paths as straight as I possibly could. That still needs a way in. What's up with that thing? Still needs a ranger post. The Indominus Rex. One of the harder dinosaurs to get in this game. Yeah, we're not having that. Let's make it 50% tolerable. Like I said, in this, I basically turned everything off except for the profits, the income tax, things like that. I mean, yeah, when I first started out, I set it to unlimited until I got everything that I needed, and then I set the money to low, so I got like $2-3 million, and then I basically just went from there. Again, I don't think I've done too bad of a job. You know, I've decorated this as well. in the Jurassic Park style.
You will definitely want to do this next objective. Trust
No,
me,
I won't.
I'm a doctor.
No, the last time I heard that phrase used, trust me, I'm a doctor, it was in that Family Guy episode, the prostate exam episode, and that didn't end well. You know, it was trust me, I'm a doctor. It's like guilty. Yeah, that was funny then. Today, kind of a bad deal. Oh, it's good, Blazing. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I didn't plan to live stream this today. It's just a bad case of I've been playing it all day, and it's like, meh. Why change the game? You know, because usually I'm not into games like this because you don't actually have to do anything.
Collecting asset.
But this time around, you know, it became free with June's PlayStation Plus lineup. I downloaded it thinking, you know, all right, I'll play it once, maybe twice. And on the first day I downloaded it, I was playing it from like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and when I looked at the time, it was midnight, and I'm like, oh, I haven't even eaten. Yeah, the live stream was short yesterday because I didn't really get the chance to play through the game because I didn't know it wasn't fully installed. So that caused a bit of an issue on that. But let's call it a test stream, and we'll call this one a test stream as well, because I just want to see if my Wi-Fi is actually going to hold together live streaming since I moved. Because since I moved, my Wi-Fi has been absolutely terrible. It's like I've been on dial-up connection. It's been that bad. Yeah, I said that earlier. Blaze, and I said this was basically The Sims, but Jurassic Park. You know, instead of looking after the sim, you're looking after the dinosaurs. But at least in The Sims, you can set free will. In this game, you can't. So the dinosaurs basically, if they glitch and freeze, they die. And that's what's happening on this particular park I've built.
Asset transported.
Yeah, I know downloading doesn't mean it's finished installing, but I thought it had finished installing because it had told me at the top of the screen it had finished. I even got the notification through on my phone from the PS app that it had finished. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll live stream this. And yeah, turns out it wasn't finished. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, we'll call this another test stream, just to see how my Wi-Fi holds out. You know, I don't expect a dozen views on this. You know, I never do when I do my videos. I do these just for fun and just for the entertainment of you fine people. But it's nice when I get a bunch of people viewing to interact with my community, you know, interact with the chat, you know, maybe gain a new subscriber or two. Oh, God, Tamagotchi. Yeah, I remember the Tamagotchis. You know, I remember I had a Tamagotchi once and I lost it. It actually fell down the back of the sofa when I was a kid. And I found it about a year later. And when I turned it back on, it popped up with a message, something like, "You let me die, don't you love me anymore?" I was like, oh my God, that is so crushing. It's like, I didn't mean to let you die, I lost you. Oh man. It's hilarious now, but it was absolutely heartbreaking back then because I was just a kid, you know. But yeah, I see where you're going with it, Blaze, and it is kind of a reminder of Tamagotchi. It's like upscale, gain nothing out of it. Yeah, it's exactly, Blizzard, exactly. And you know, like I say, I didn't plan to live stream Jurassic World today. I wanted to do Alan Wake again, to be honest, but I'd been playing this all day, and I just figured, well, I've been playing it all day. I've put a lot of hours into it since it actually first released, so why the hell not? And I mean, when it first released, my internet then was being really bad. I couldn't even stream a single episode of a TV show without the internet dropping in and out. But now, you know, touch wood, it seems to be okay. You know, it seems like it's not dropping out anymore. It seems like it's on a steady speed. I am on ultra fiber as well, so that should help a lot. Plus, you know, my first bill for it actually came out yesterday, and since the bill came out, it's actually been consistent. You know, it's not been dropping out intermittently. So that's my theory as to why my internet was crap, because they hadn't taken the first bill out yet, and they were just like, "Well, you've not paid for this yet, so we're going to give you a crappy service." Well, if this dude's got enough space with all of that, let's split the enclosure in half, shall we? Right down the middle. Because there's another dinosaur I'm thinking of putting in there. Stop eating my guests. Well, I say eating my guests is actually just probably eating the car door. Here we go. Look. We got the classic OG Jurassic Park Jeep here. These things are very unstable in this game. It is so easy to flip them over. Wait, look, over it goes. It's brilliantly hilarious how easy these things flip over. Right? Just so you can have that classic Jeep. I mean, this is the type of game that is ridiculously addictive. I mean, you don't actually realize how long you've been playing it until you look at the time, and you're just like, holy crap, is that what time it is? No, Lego dinosaurs do look really freaking weird. They look like some kind of mutant crossbreed. I mean, if you look at the T-Rex in the game, it looks quite realistic. And typically it disappears into the woods. Yeah, it does look quite realistic, you know, considering it's a video game. But when you get a Lego one, it's all just squared and boxy and bubbly, and it just looks really freakish. Just looks like a mutant. I'm telling you that the level of detail that's been put into this game for the dinosaurs, just for the buildings, it's actually really good. And you know, considering you don't, as the player, spend much time down here unless you do this.
Travel in comfort, style, and safety on the park tour.
You know, you're not really going to see it.
Running on green electricity.
It's going to let me just walk in the enclosure. I've never actually seen it from this angle. I never go into first-person view. Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not usually my kind of game. You know, because it's just one of those sandbox things, and you don't actually get to do anything except build the park and look after the dinosaurs. That's it. And once the park's full, you move on and just build another one. But see, that looks quite realistic, actually. Are you gonna eat me? Are you gonna eat me? Yoo-hoo! Shall I do a little dance? Are you gonna eat me? No, I don't think it eats the first-person view. I think the first-person view is just a camera. I think I would have been eaten by now. Although it is creepily staring at me. Who can say they've been that close to a T-Rex and lived? Well, no one, because, you know, they're not real. Well, they were real, but, you know, they're all dead. Let's see what this thing looks like up close. Spinosaurus from Jurassic Part 3. Should I play the Benny Hill theme song and just dance around in circles and wait for it to eat me? Hello? Dinner here? Well, you're boring. You're not eating me either. Yeah, 23% rise in profits.
I've got my hands full with the dinosaurs, so I'm leaving this next objective to you.
I'm actually surprised that's okay with the open space there, because when I built an enclosure for it on one of my other parks, it just kept wanting more and more and more space. But yeah, again, I won't be playing this for too long on the live stream. I just wanted to do another test stream to see if my Wi-Fi would actually hold out, and it seems like it actually is, so we'll be back to our regularly scheduled crap as soon as we can. I'll definitely do some more Alan Wake, because that was really trippy. This year that I actually want, and I will be getting once my finances are sorted out after the recent move I've been forced to do. Star Trek Resurgence. We have The Expanse, a new Telltale video game. Obviously Spider-Man 2 coming this year. Definitely going to be doing that. The Horizon Forbidden West DLC. There's updates for Saints Row, updates for Gran Turismo. There's a new Gotham Knights update coming. There's a lot. There's a lot to do. Oh, of course, I am also thinking of getting that new Star Wars game, but 70 quid at the minute, it's just a little bit out of my price range, and just until my finances get back on track. I mean, I would wait until Christmas, but still 5 months away, so I don't want to wait. You know, maybe a month or two when when I build my savings back up, I can go for it. Yeah, like I said, to be honest, I was going to, but I was already playing this, and it was like, well, I don't really want to come off it. You know, I just want to see how well it does, and I just want to talk to people. Basically, I just want to show my community that I'm still here, that I'm still live streaming, that I'm still producing content. Because to some, I've been less than active over the past year, so they may have thought, well, he's given up again, he's baggered off. But no, I am still around, folks. I've just had a really tough year, that's all. I've not disappeared on you like I did last time due to mental health reasons. Not going to go into the reason why. But it's safe to say I won't be doing it again, because when I did come back to the channel after my lengthy hiatus because of my health, I missed it. I missed talking to my community. I missed producing videos for you guys. I missed helping my community with stuff, because I've had comments on videos from my informative videos, from my hints and tips videos, that people didn't know that those things existed. And it brings me a sense of pride, knowing that they've seen it first from me, as opposed to people like Typical Gamer or Mr. Boss for the Win or PewDiePie. You know, they've heard it first from me, and it gives me a sense of pride. But I don't do this for the views. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the pride. I do it because I enjoy doing it. It's something I want to do.
Señoras y señores,
But I will be ending this stream shortly, because it does seem like my Wi-Fi is actually working and gonna let me do a consistent live stream. So yeah, we'll call yesterday and today test streams, and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled content. We do still have a couple of backlogged videos that need uploading, but we'll get to it. But yeah, let me know if you're watching now or in the future how the stream's going. You know, is it lagging? Do I sound like a chipmunk or a robot? Is it buffering, or is it clean as a whistle? Oh, look at that. Another dinosaur that's going to freeze in place and just slowly starve to death and die. You know, I've just noticed that the dinosaur is actually almost as tall as the fence. I mean, in the movie, this thing was fiercely intelligent. So, like, who's to say it couldn't just, you know, step over that fence? Because it looks like it really could. It looks like it's near enough the same height. But yeah, I think tomorrow, folks, we'll continue on with Alan Wake, because I really enjoyed that. Then going ahead from there, we'll just see what happens. I should hope it's going pretty good. You know, I'm paying for the ultra fiber, and when I moved from my previous address to my new address, I was so disappointed with the service, because I kept the same internet provider, and I was so disappointed with the service because it felt like I was on dial-up connection from the late 90s. It just dropped in and out intermittently. There was no signal. I couldn't even watch a series, an episode in a series, without it dropping out. But yeah, if you say it's good, it seems to be working. So yeah, again, we'll call yesterday and today test streams. Don't do that. Don't crash. Goodness, I thought that was the Wi-Fi about to kick me out. Then I thought I was jinxing it, but no, it was just the game being a bit glitchy. Yes, I'm a nerd. I made the two lagoons look like my initials. Okay. In hindsight, I probably should have put it in the initials of GD for Gamer Dude. But you know, lesson learned for next time. So I had to get that Velociraptor genome to 100% to unlock the dinosaur I wanted next. Oh, snug as a bug in there. Go away. I'm busy. Ooh, 10.5 million. Good job I've got 32 million. You know, it says a lot when your amenities are actually earning more than your park. I think that's one thing I need to work on when I play this in the future, just get those ticket sales up. I probably won't live stream this in the future for the sake of, well, for the sake of not boring people to death. Yeah, still researching, that's why. So I think what I'll do is I'll release this particular dinosaur that I'm working on, and then I'll call it there. See, I just wanted to again do another quick test stream, make it a little bit longer than yesterday's. I had planned to live stream longer yesterday, but the game wasn't fully installed, so I had to end that a bit early. But all seems well, you know. I don't sound like a chipmunk or like a robot. You know, my signal's not dropped out either, so that's a good thing. But yeah, as I've said a few times, this isn't the kind of game that I usually play. You know, when I downloaded it, I figured I'd play it maybe once or twice, and then I found myself putting dozens of hours into it. It's ridiculous how many hours I've actually put into this game. You know, I completed all the challenges, I completed the main story, I've started building my own sandbox parks. It's just crazy how addictive this game actually is. And you know, the only other game reminiscent of this that I actually liked was The Sims. But you know, the Sims, at least you had interactive control over the character. In this game, you don't really have any control over anything. Sure, you're building stuff like you would in The Sims. You know, you're building a house in The Sims and you're putting stuff in it. Same in this game. You build the enclosure, you put stuff in it. You build the park, you put stuff in it. But other than that, you're not actually interacting with anything, you know? Sure, you can take control of the vehicles, you can fly a helicopter and, you know, take some pictures and whatnot, but you're not really in direct control of the dinosaurs. So other than just flying about and doing nothing or taking pictures, you're not really getting, the interactive feel for this game.
Picking up asset.
I made that enclosure look like morning toast. After you've just made some toast, buttered it, and then cut it. Wasn't my intention, but
Asset in transit.
I suppose that's how the dinosaur seals. They see us as breakfast, don't they? So why not? The whole concept of Jurassic Park, it's a crazy idea. It's one of those what if stories. What if we could actually do this? What if we could bring back a saber-toothed tiger? What if we could bring back the mammoths? What if we could bring back the white rhinos? What if we could bring back a bloody T-Rex? But it's just, unlike all the sci-fi around it and what they mention in the movies, it's not physically possible. I don't want to go into all the science of it all and everything because, some people won't understand, some people it'll just go over their heads, or some people it'll just be a bad case of, we don't care. It's sci-fi. It's supposed to not make sense, But basically, in the real world, it's not feasible. We can't do it. It can't be done.
Delivery has been completed.
That thing needs rock. Really? Really? It's just going to sit there and do nothing? Well, oh, no. Is it moving? Is it moving? No, it's walking in circles. Are you blind? I say that because my dog, before she passed away, when she went blind, she did this thing where she'd just walk around in circles. Dude, you're going the wrong way. Go over there, where all the space is. Go that way. I mean, I really don't know what the makers at Hollywood were thinking of when they created this thing. It's ugly. It looks nothing like a dinosaur. I know that we're just trying to spice up the universe and spice up the movies, but yeah. They could have done that by reintroducing the Spinosaurus that we only saw in one movie. That's what made the first 3 Jurassic Parks so good, though. People running and screaming and dying and getting eaten. In Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion, they kind of did away with that and just wanted to focus on the whole hybrid section of things. And it's like, well, okay, we get it. People are in that universe are as impressed by a dinosaur as they are by an elephant. But still, really? Could you have not gone with the, traditional T-Rex breaking out of its enclosure and eating everybody? It worked in the first 3 movies. It could have worked again. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there then. I'm going to safely say test stream successful, been live for over an hour. No problems, no issues, no lag. I don't sound like a robot or a chipmunk. The internet hasn't dropped out. So we're good. We're good, and we'll be back to regularly scheduled content. I'll come back with an Alan Wake remastered video tomorrow. We'll do a full video on that, so about hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, my usual length of streams. We'll do a series on that, live streaming that here and there, sporadically. I'll be uploading some more informative gaming videos, so stay tuned for those. Obviously, when my finances get back in check, I'll be buying some games that have come out this year. Star Trek Resurgence, I'm a big Star Trek fan. Sorry if you're not, but when I get that game, I'm going to be live streaming it and posting everything I can about it, because it is essentially a Telltale game. There's The Expanse, which is actually an official Telltale game, so I might actually pick that up to continue the Telltale game series. There's the new Star Wars game, but again, until my finances get back in check, that's 70 quid. So it's a bad case of it's a bit too rich for my blood right now. Spider-Man 2, that comes out in October. Naturally, I pre-ordered the collector's edition because by then my finances should be set in stone. So collector's edition, it's not a big, well, it's a big chunk out of my wallet, but it's a chunk out of my wallet that I'm not going to have to worry about. But yeah, so thank you all for stopping by. Do appreciate it. Blazing, thanks once again for stopping in, as always, dude. If you guys haven't already, do head over to his channel. He's on the 420 community. He does gaming videos as well. And he's on Instagram as well. He's more active there with his 420 stuff, so check him out if you haven't already. So yeah, that being said then, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.